Yeah, perfect. Hi there, evening to you. After 3 rounds of JL domination, the focus and indeed the battle shifts to South America from Europe as we land at Interlagos for round 4 of this season. It is, of course, the opening race of 2 tonight, and we're about to find out whether Litwa or Klimek will continue their domination. Welcome to Sao Paulo. Welcome to tonight's T2 action. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box as always tonight by Tim. And after a race last week where Litwa completely dominated, winning by 13 seconds from Cludden in second, you'd like to think the only question we can possibly ask, my friend, is can anyone stop JL?
That is a good question indeed. And I'm not too sure about it.
Why is that?
I think JL have been performing greatly, and if one driver has a bit of a worse day, the other one will be there to pick it up.
Just like Klimek last week and Litwa. Anyway, 7 drivers in the lobby tonight, down 2 from 9 last week, but we will still be giving out full points. And Rally Ralph and his teammate Liberty will be coming out onto the track first to start their qualifying runs. Rally Ralph has had a mediocre at best season so far. He'll be looking to pick up the pace here at Interlagos tonight. Because of course the Sao Paulo Grand Prix hasn't been the Brazilian Grand Prix since 2019, to clear up that, I suppose, common misconception. Rally Ralph starts his lap and goes straight into the abyss at the first part of the Senna S. Liberty will try and pick up the pieces for his team coming down towards the Senna S. No such mistake from him. Runs a slightly wide for the first part of the 3-corner complex. Big kick of Oster out of the second. Straightens the car up and will activate the DRS. Might get a bit of his toe off his teammate. He does not. But at the first sector split, it is a 17.267 for Liberty as he puts it down in towards turn number 4 and turn number 5 in 5th gear, rising into 6th. Then into 7th. Won't reach 8th, I wouldn't think. Flicking it right twice through 7th gear and then down into 6th gear. And then into the tight and twisty middle portion of the track. Small lockup, followed by him running wide through the first part of that section, 2nd gear, then into 3rd, then 4th, then 5th, and then dropping it all the way down into 2nd, then 1st, as he heads up towards the middle sector split for his team. 50 seconds gone at the middle sector split. It's a 51.88838. That's a great sign for Liberty as he heads through Junkai, then down the final straight, using all of his battery and now ready to activate DRS for the second time on this lap. Up towards the line comes Liberty Weight, and it is going to be a 1 minute 8.853 for him as he tops the timesheets. His teammate with a 1 minute 23.324. He will, of course, go again. Also on the lap is Klimek. He's at the middle sector split now. A 51.720 is Litwis. That's the fastest time of the session, going 4/10 quicker than Liberty in the JL car, who are, of course, sporting a beautiful, I have to say, tribute livery to the late, the great Ayrton Senna do Brasil. Klimek up towards the line. Is he going to beat his teammate? The answer is no. Slots himself into second, 1,000th of a second quicker than Liberty. Super Cepeda is coming for the middle sector split now, but a good start to the session for JL, my friend.
Certainly has been a great start for them. One just getting P2 barely, but the other one just quite far up the field.
Well, if you haven't been checking out the drivers' standings, Litwa currently leads on 59.5 points. Cludden is second for Toyota F1 on 36. Marcus and his teammate Sen Manders are third, and 4 for Orlen F1. They are on 13.21 points respectively. Razard is fifth for Vimto Racing on 18. Klimek dropped down to 6th last week after a pretty poor race for him. He's on 17.5 points. Sam Ross is 7th also for Vimto Racing on 17 points. Rally Ralph is also on 17 points in 8th. For BWT Lechner Racing. Super Cepeda, Camo and Liberty round out the point scores. Constructors Championship JL lead by 26 points from Orlen, 77 points to 51. Toyota are third on 45. Vimto Racing are 4 for 35. BWG, Lechner Racing and Trackhouse round out the field on 25 and 10 points respectively. JD Motorsport and Shannon Racing are still yet to score points. Rally Ralph completed his lap there, 1 minute 9.853. Razat is also on an out lap that's about to become a qualifying lap. Take us through it, Tim.
Let's see what the Razat can do here as he starts his lap here. See him throwing it now through the Senna S's here. It's important to have a good exit there, especially since the next corner is just a high speed corner onto a long straight there. In the first sector, it's a 17.3 for him there. The game says it's purple, I don't know if it's true or not. Let's just see what he can put down now in the more cornery part of the track, the middle sector. He's about to complete the middle sector now. Onto the line, it's a 52.8 there for the Englishman. As he now takes it through the high speed last bit of the sector there, through the final corner, back onto the main straight. And it's a 1:10.2. Quite far off the pace.
It's a poor lap for Razat there, who you'd like to think will be deputising for Bottas for Chevrolet tonight. Bottas will not make the race and will therefore not be able to get his T1 championship lead back. But of course, this circuit has taken up so many iterations before. In the past, the original circuit had 17 corners. This layout has 15 corners, but there are of course some massive variations from the track that was built and opened in 1940 and the track that stands here in 2024. Tim, do you know what day the track was opened on?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Sunday, the 12th of May,
Speedo
1940. There. Super Speedo comes out of absolutely nowhere to go top and interrupts my rant. However, this race had a pretty sketchy F1 history, very bumpy, and was dumped, I should say, from the F1 calendar in 1980, returned in 1990 after the series raced in the capital of Rio from 1981 to 1989. Nigel Mansell got his first win there in 1989 for Ferrari. Super Speedy at the top of the timesheets, 10.5 minutes to go. Marcus is the only driver who hasn't set a time. He hasn't even been out on the track.
Resident gives it another try, but it's just not an out lap and he will start a flyer now, I think.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to him as he comes down the Senna S of turns 1, 2 and 3. We'll activate the DRS in 100 meters as he comes down Reta Opposta, the first straight on this track. First sector split, he is going to set a 18.154, but he's 7.5 tenths down on his first run. I'm not sure if he's going to keep going to try and find time as he heads through Città del Lago and then up towards Ferradura off turn number 6. 7th gear through the first part, rising then down to 6th gear for the next. Then down in towards the 8th corner and the 9th corner off the track. 2nd gear then into 3rd, 4th. Will he make it to 5th? He will, and then dropping it down to 4th gear as he comes towards Merguio and then towards Juncao off turn number 13. Middle sector split. Is Razat improving? No, he is not. He's 1.842 seconds down and has had a massive slide out of Juncao to add insult to injury. Lit was 31 thousandths up in the first sector. That's a purple first split, I should say. Klimek is 8 thousandths of a second up. So we'll see what the jails are able to do in their special Senate livery car for this weekend's race. Litwa coming through the middle sector split now through turn 9, then through the little kink of 10 before driving it down to Bico do Passo of turn number 11. 2nd gear, 100 kilometers an hour, then having a massive slide out of turn 11. And he will, in due course, abort that lap. We'll go back to his teammate Klimek now. Klimek was a little bit far off his teammate on the first run. We'll see what he's able to do out of Bico de Passo, where his teammate struggled on that run just gone past. Middle sector for Klimek. He is 81 thousandths up. It's apparently a purple middle sector. Don't believe what you see, though. Coming up towards turn number 14. And then down the final straight. The home straight leading towards the line. Activates the DRS 7th gear. Will he make 8th? You'd like to think he will. He does. At the line. It's not an improvement that puts him off the grid, but he is 1.5 tenths quicker than his first run. Marcus is out on a run as well. We'll see what he's able to do. Take us through it, Tim.
Let's see what he can do as he completes the first sector. It's a flat there. I honestly don't know from the top of my head whether that's good or not. Maybe you do know that, Storm.
I'll check, because I think a few drivers are maybe getting into the 16s. It's decent enough. He's on par with Super Sapeda. He's actually quicker than Super Sapeda. He is he's about a 10th off Litwa, and he is quicker than Klimek. So this could be a very good lap for Marcus. I'll hand it back to you.
Let's see what he can do then. In the middle sector, from there it's a 51.4. Yeah, not too sure about the exact sector times there.
We'll see what he's able to do, though.
Where can he put his car? He puts it in fastest there.
Well, the first sector did show immense signs of promise. The second sector, not too shabby either. And by 22 thousandths of a second, Marcus is at the top of the timesheets in another Senna liveried car, I should say. That was ran last week as well. Litwa's going to start yet another run, first sector split. He's 71 thousandths of a second up, a 16.886, and that does blow Marcus's first sector time out of the proverbial water, coming up towards turns number 6 and 7. Now, Ferradura is turn 6, no corner name for turn 7, before dropping it into turn 8 in first and then second gear, then in towards turn 9 of Pino Herrero, rising then up the hill through turn 10 there, where he messed it up all on the last stop of Bico do Pato, turn 11, then down in towards 12, and then up to that middle sector split. Is it an improvement for Litwa? The answer is yes, by around a 10th. Into Junção, up the hill he will go. 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear, up the gears, and putting his foot flat to the floor for one last time. Activates the DRS with 6 minutes to go in this session. It does look like this is going to send Litwa right back to the top of the timesheets. You'd like to think I'm right, and the answer is I'm not right. He's 7 thousandths of a second off. Oh dear. I'm not sure where Litwa lost all the time in the final sector, though. Either Marcus pulled it out of absolutely nowhere, or Litwa made a small mistake coming out of Junção. What's your professional opinion on that, Tim?
I think he might have had a bit of a moment. I think the tire difference is also a big thing there. It might have been... It's such a small margin. If Litwa would have been on fresher tires, he surely would have gotten it.
Liberty is on an outlap. Tokyo drifting it apparently. Coming through Junção to start a second qualifying run. A good chance of maybe getting onto the front of the second row. We'll find out though. Take us through Liberty's next lap, Tim.
Let's see what Liberty can do. He's about to start the one, and I got disconnected, so you better take us through it without the image, because my internet... Yeah, like I said, if you can invite me and...
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, if you can invite me and...
Yeah, well, yeah.
Tell what happens, then...
Yeah. Lago now of turn number 5 on the session in a moment. Middle sector split for Liberty. Is it an improvement? The answer is yes. By 55 thousandths of a second would be enough to improve his spot on the grid. He comes out of Junção and then will rise up the hill in the final sector off the track. 150 meters in the DRS. Activates the rear slot on his rear wing. Puts his foot flat to the floor for one last time in this lap. Is it an improvement? The answer is yes. He only gains 1,000th on his personal best from the middle sector. And as was expected, it keeps him in 5th position. Everyone else is in the pits getting ready for that last final onslaught on the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, the titular driver who of course won the race back in 1975 for Brabham. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Have you returned, Tim?
I have returned with visuals.
Very good. Razout has also come onto the track. He's exited the pit lane as well as Super Supeda, I want to say. Yeah, Super Supeda is just coming out of the boxes now. Super Supeda exits himself on towards the track. Razout, of course, in the Vimto racing car. Dead last at the moment, 1.7 seconds off Marcus in P1. Marcus 7 thousandths quicker than Litwa on that first run, or Marcus's first proper run. Litwa was second, but we'll see what Razout is able to do, activating his overtake and his highest level of ERS activating the DRS as he goes into 8th gear, and he will start potentially his final run in this qualifying session. Up towards the line he comes. He needs this lap. It has been a terrible session for him so far. He comes down in towards the Senna S. A decent run through 1. I say that, and it's a massive kick of oversteer, and you would like to think he will go again. Also on an outlap, Super Cepeda, as was previously mentioned, but everyone coming out now onto the track. The final battle for T2 pole position is about to begin. Who's your money on, Tim?
I'd say Litwa will take it. If he gets out in time, of course.
He should do, yeah. He is coming out now. I did say Litwa would get back into provisional pole position when he was coming up to the line. I was truly proved wrong. Maybe my luck will be a little bit better this time, and for Litwa's sake, it might well be another pole position for the perennial and unstoppable, it's fair to say, championship leader. 7 thousandths of a second separate them. Super Cepeda is on a flying run coming up towards the first sector split. What's it going to be for him? 33 thousandths of a second off an improvement. That would currently be enough to take him to provisional pole position, running very wide there out of the Cita del Lago, coming down that short little back straight in towards Ferradura off turn number 6, and then rising into turn number 7, up the hill into the tricky, twisty, tight part of the Sao Paulo circuit. Second gear for the first part, third gear for the second, coming up towards Bico de Pato after going past the small kink of turn number 10. Into 11 he comes. This is where Litwa ruined it all in one of his earlier runs. Then coming down in towards the middle sector split is Super Cepeda. What is it going to be for him? 3 thousandths of a second improvement. He needs to find it all coming out of Junkao, but it doesn't look like he's doing it. Will it be enough to get him to the top of the timesheets in this session? He needs to find 23 thousandths of a second. Is it going to be enough for Super Cepeda? Let's find out. The answer is yes, it is, and he finds all the time in the final sector. So beat that, Marcus, and beat that, Litwa. Marcus, however, is improving. Litwa coming up towards the first sector split. What's he able to do? Litwa improving by attempts. So we'll see what Marcus is able to do first as the camera pans to him in the Orlen Stealth. What's he able to do as he comes through Bico de Pato of turn number 11, then down into Mergulo of turn number 12. Middle sector split for Marcus. Is he improving? Yes, by 2.5 tenths of a second. Litwa is steadily getting closer towards that middle sector split. We'll see what he's able to do in a moment. But here comes Marcus coming down the final straight, putting his foot flat to the floor, activating the DRS and using all of his battery. Is this going to be a provisional pole position? Yes, it is. 1 minute 7.987. Litwa's improving by 2.5 tenths. It might just be his. Coming out of Junkao. 5th gear, 6th gear, into 7th. He's got none battery left as he will activate the DRS. Is this going to be enough for yet another pole position, or will it go to Marcus? Here comes Litwa to the line. It's pole, and a 1 minute 07.893 sees Litwa take yet another pole position this season. And JL once again occupy the front row. His teammate Klimek is improving by 4.5 tenths. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough to get himself off of 4th place, but we'll find out what Klimek is able to do. Klimek remains in 4th, 3 tenths of a second improvement on his personal best, but Litwa has done all he can, and all he can is enough for yet another pole position in this T2 championship. People said his dominance could get boring. I personally think that this is a work of art from one of the best drivers in this league at the present moment. Litwa on pole position for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Brilliant session, Tim.
Surely has been quite close there in the end for pole position, of course.
Yeah, those 3 men could really give us an entertaining battle in this race. We'll see what happens. Very fun indeed. Litwa is already halfway through his T1 reserves as well, his reserve appearances. Will he be in the T1 race tonight? You would like to think so. Super Cepeda is pitting, and we should have our official grid in just a second. But after getting pole position at Imola and getting pole position in China after missing out in Australia just a couple of weeks ago, it is a 3rd pole position in a row for Litwa. Maybe it might just be a 3rd win in a row. Qualifying order, Litwa on pole position by 94 thousandths of a second from Marcus in 2nd. Super Cepeda is 3rd. 3 tenths behind. Klimek 4th in the 2nd. JL Car Klimek, of course, won the first race of the season back in Australia. Liberty Wake and Rally Ralph are 5th and 6th for BWT Lechner Racing. Razart rounds out the grid for Vimto Racing. The entire field separated by 1.374 seconds. The T2 race is coming up live, and it is next. Still overcast. No threat of rain. How is your bottle? Let's find out, shall we? It is race number 4 of the T2 season. T1 still to come tonight. But after such a dramatic and such a brilliant qualifying session, we are surely in for a brilliant race before the big boys take to the track later on this evening. Mr. Storm and Tim in the commentary box. Tim was surely in for a great race after that qualifying session.
Really?
And if you've just missed qualifying, it just happened. Where the hell have you been? Litwa on pole position by 94 thousandths of a second from Marcus in second position. Super Cepeda is third. One of Litwa's closest run-ins in a qualifying session so far this season, but most of the T2 sessions have been pretty close. It has been in the race where Litwa has made the difference, I should say, not the distance. Although he has been covering a lot of distance on the track. Let's find out what compound the grid are starting on today. It's a mixture of medium and soft. Litwa decides to start on the mediums. Marcus, Super Cepeda and Klimek are all on the softs. The two BWT Legendary Racing cars of Liberty and Rally Ralph are on the mediums. And we have a crash in the formation lap. Super Cepeda and Klimek have came together. They have been set back quite a bit on their grid spot. And they will, of course, suffer due to having cold tyres on the start.
And of course not a great starting position either.
No, definitely not. Razout rounds out the grid on the soft compound tire. We'll see what he's able to do against the two cars in front of him that are on the medium. So Super Cepeda and Klimek immediately hampered in this race. Before it even begins, Litwa and Marcus ready to go to war here tonight. If you're just joining us, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, another T2 race. Yet another chance for Litwa to extend that championship lead. He has been impervious this season. He's been absolutely brilliant. Here's the championship standings coming into this race. Litwa leads on 59.5 points after finishing third in Australia and winning the last two races in China and at Imola. Cludden is second for Toyota. He's on 36 points and is probably going to be passed in the order tonight. Marcus is in third. Of course, he starts in second. Zen Manders is in fourth position on 21 points. He's not racing tonight either. Raza might pass him for P4 depending on what happens. Klimek is in sixth. He starts in fourth on 17.5 points. Sam Ross, Rally Ralph, Super Cepeda, Camo and Liberty round out the grid. So will it be JL? Will it be Litwa? Will it be Marcus in the Orlen Senna car? Let's find out. We are ready to go to the 5 red lights here in Sao Paulo. The camera angle isn't as bad as other races, but we are ready to go here. We go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights for the first lap of 25 here in Sao Paulo. And the race is underway. Great start from Litwa, but an even better start from Marcus. Marcus will have the whole shot coming down in towards the Senna S. And what a start that could be from the man in the Orlen F1 car. Litwa and his teammate Klimek have slightly come together. 3 wide for the second part of the Senna S. And we have a collision. Super Cepeda and Klimek and Rally Ralph have all come together. Klimek is at the back. The very back.
That's a loss of control there for Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty has gone off and he has lost a lot of his front wing coming down in towards Dacita del Lago. So Liberty is in 5th position. His teammate's just gone past him, but Klimek is going to be ruining that start. He was in 2nd, now he's down to 7th. But Marcus, with the perfect getaway, he leads this Grand Prix from Litwa in 2nd. Razout avoided all the chaos. He's up from 7th to 3rd for Vimto Racing. What a brilliant start that was from Marcus, though, Tim.
Certainly was a great start there.
Litwa had a lot of oversteer, and of course he was on the medium compound tire, so that wasn't going to help his cause in any single way whatsoever. So Marcus will lead the first lap, making up for missing out on pole position. Litwa doesn't lead a race for once. Of course, he did get the pole position point. We forgot to mention that, but he did get the pole position points. So his current standing for the race weekend is 19 points. Marcus sets the fastest lap, and Litwa has a massive moment coming out of the Senna S there. Liberty pits, obviously to replace the damaged front wing. Klimek will rise into 6th position. Now needs to make up a lot of time to catch up to Rally Ralph, and Super Cepeda. Razout is chilling in 3rd position, 2.2 seconds behind Litwa, who in turn is now 2.5 behind Marcus after a terrible run through the Senna S. Lap 2 of 25, Marcus leads for Orlen F1. Well, we've got off to a better start than last week's race, that's fair to say. 25 laps in this one. Of course, the T1 race will be a bit longer in terms of length, but hopefully this race is going to be just as enjoyable with its shorter length. We'll see if Lit was able to close up that gap to Marcus. Of course, even if Lit would finish second, he'd have a 100% record of finishing on the podium this season and would inevitably keep his championship lead. Razout is in third position, Super Cepeda is in fourth, and Super Cepeda is actually closing up quite quickly on Razout here. We'll see if he's able to get the move done as they hurtle down the front straight, coming down towards the Senna S. Marcus sets the fast lap again, 1 minute 10.290 on the soft compound tyre. Super Cepeda using the DRS to his advantage, but not being able to get past as they head down towards turns number 1, 2, and 3. Will he be able to get the move done before Desida de Lago, of course, for Hamilton's spot with Verstappen in 2021? Razout immediately tries to break the toe. Super Cepeda only follows him quite late down the straight. Won't be able to get the move done into turns 4 or 5. Ivor gets very close to the back, gives him a cheeky little love tap, but still can't find a way past. Up towards turn 6 they come. They go side by side almost. Super Cepeda will have to go the long way around, can't make the move either. Tries to go underneath Razout as they head in towards turn number 8. Still no dice for Super Cepeda, who qualified in third position. Super Cepeda had a great recovery drive after being involved in that collision on the opening lap. Of course, it wasn't so much of a recovery drive, I should add, but more so of a recovery job in just getting back to where he qualified. Lit was made up no ground on Marcus at the start lap number 4, but Super Cepeda should inevitably get past Razout here on the front straight. Razout defending for his life, I say that, and Super Cepeda goes right back past. It was inevitable, and Super Cepeda gets into third position. Razout relegated down to 4th. Rally Ralph in 5th position. Maybe the innocent bystander should these two come together. Razout will have DRS, and now Razout starts to gain on Super Cepeda as they head down towards Desida de Lago. Razout will have to go the long way around. Will he be able to make the move? Super Cepeda defends well, and there is no such move that was anticipated maybe in Razout's corner. He remains in 4th position. Rally Ralph is in 5th. Meanwhile, at the front, Marcus has done well. We have a yellow flag because Super Cepeda's off. Super Cepeda, after getting back into third position, has lost it coming out of Ferradura and is now in 5th. And that gives Klimek a great chance to get into 5th position, as we've mentioned, and get a couple more championship points. We'll see if he's able to make that move. Rally Ralph getting especially close to Razout now. He will just about have DRS unless Razout decides to play DRS chicken. That doesn't look like it's going to be the case, and Rally Ralph should have an easy move on the man in the Vimto racing car. Here comes the BWT Lechterman Rally Ralph 11. Will he be able to get past Razout coming down towards the Senna S? He has no battery left. He's going to be forced to go the long way around in towards turn number 1. Can he make that move? Razout defends well. They do make contact through turn 1. Rally Ralph forced to go the long way around turn 3. Once again, he'll have another bite of the cherry coming down towards Desida de Lago. Lit was apparently taking the lead of the race. Lit has taken the lead of the race. I'm not sure what's happened to Marcus there, but Marcus has lost the lead. They still go to battle, though, coming up towards turn number 6. Lit will lead this Grand Prix now. Rally Ralph will have a great chance coming up towards Ferradura. Might get the move done up the inside into turn number 6. The answer is no, but he's there at turn 7. Gets into the lead, a little bit of a love tap. Razout forced to see the position. He's down to 4th now. Super Cepeda is remaining with Klimek in 5th. Great start to this race, though, Tim.
Certainly has been. Let's see whether Marcus can put something up, or it will just be Lit running away now with the lead.
Lit were running away yet again, and Lit was got a lot less battery compared to Marcus, 79% to 8%. Of course, Marcus will have DRS. We want to see if Lit might set the fastest lap on this tour around the track. He doesn't, but Marcus gets very close coming down towards the Senna S of turns 1, 2, and 3. 0.4 of a second separate these two, who could become the two championship rivals in T2. We'll find out if Marcus is able to get back into the lead. It does seem like a tough ask coming down towards turn number 4 and 5. He is too far back, but he's a lot closer than he could have been as they head towards the tight and twisty middle portion of the track, lap 6 of 25. Anything you've noticed so far, Tim?
Not much other than it looks to be, and although Litwa did get beaten on the start by Marcus, I think it might be a Litwa show once again.
Litwa and Marcus both making mistakes in that middle sector. Litwa had a small moment coming out of turn number 9, Marcus at the moment coming out of turn number 11, and now Marcus is actually out of DRS range, and I don't think he's going to get back in there in time. He doesn't, so that mistake at Bico de Pato has cost him dearly, as Litwa is now out of DRS range. Let's go back to the battle for 5th between Klimek and Super Cepeda. Super Cepeda is 3 tenths behind Klimek, and Klimek in turn is gaining on Razout. Rally Ralph has pulled the pin, and Rally Ralph has gone away. He's in 3rd position now. We'll see if Super Cepeda is able to get past Klimek on the home straight, though he's gaining. Will be forced to go to the inside, but he doesn't mind that whatsoever. Gets the move done before the first corner and should just about hang on. Klimek goes for the switcheroonie, but can't get it done. Will, though, have DRS for turns number 4 and 5 and down this straight as well. Drags alongside him, and as was thought, gets the move done. Nothing really Super Cepeda could do there. Well, Imola was probably the worst race this season. You could say that Australia was quite bad too due to the lack of people, but at least it had some action. Imola was very, very dull for most of this race. But this one, 7.5 laps in, hasn't been too bad. Marcus is just out of DRS range by about 20 thousandths of a second for the 2nd lap in a row, but he's right back in it now, and he might have a great chance to get back past Litwin, maybe on lap number 8. He will have DRS. As Razout's gone off. Razout's into the grass, and I'm not sure how he's done that in the straight, but he's down to 6th now. As was prophesized, I should say, Marcus has got DRS, and as they come down towards turn 4, he won't be able to get the move done, but is within a decent gap off the race leader Litwa. But it's been a great drive from him so far, hasn't it, Tim? Both of them.
Certainly, they've been performing greatly, yeah. So, let's see if
are they the 2 best drivers in the tier at the moment?
I'm not too sure, but they're certainly the 2 best drivers on this track.
Definitely, I have to say. If Marcus can win this race, then a championship challenge could be launched, and that would mean a lot to Orlen F1. Little, of course, has this massive lead in the championship that it seems unassailable at this point, given how dominant he has been. But Marcus is the first driver that has properly been able to challenge him, as once again he does not get DRS. Super Cepeda, though, still battling with Litwa's teammate Klimek, who after that win in Australia has seemed a bit off the pace.
Yeah, it has been a bit, but I mean, he just has to pick up the pieces there, here and there. He doesn't seem just able to do so, but still he will get a couple of strong points, even if he falls down to P5. Because P5 is still, and I think he's like a sub-top driver right now more, but still great points for the team, meaning it probably doesn't hurt the team as much as you may think.
No, definitely not. Well, Super Cepeda is not going to get the move done in towards the Cita del Lago. He remains in 5th place. They hurtle down towards turn number 5. Hasn't been the best race for Super Cepeda after his qualification of 3rd, down to 5th. For his sake, he'd like to hope that he'll get past Klimek within the next couple of laps. Marcus is 1.1 seconds behind. It doesn't look like he's going to get DRS once again, so Litwa may be now turning the screw. Litwa now may be on for a race win. Razout's now got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and I'm not sure how that's happened, whether he's just cut a massive portion of the track due to a slide or something, but that does not help his race whatsoever.
Certainly.
As Super Cepeda spun.
That's his challenge for P4 gone.
Yeah. Well, I did say it's been a
P5
terrible race.
maybe, but of course
Yeah,
he got a 10-second time penalty, otherwise he'd probably be out of P5 contention as well.
What has happened to Super Cepeda in this race? He's had 2 massive mistakes that have not helped him whatsoever.
A driver
And
who
he now
finished on the
falls down
podium last weekend in Tier 1.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant in some instances this season. This qualifying session just a couple of minutes ago was one of his strongest points of this entire campaign so far. But this race has been a far cry from that qualifying session. He's now down to 6th, but he's technically in 5th due to penalties. Lap 10 of 25, not halfway yet, but it certainly has been a very, very fun Sao Paulo Grand Prix in Tier 2. Tim, if you're Litwa right now and you've got a 1.4 second lead over Marcus, what's going through your head at the moment?
I think that's probably it's thinking just calm. I mean, Litwa's got the tire advantage. He's got the he's on track ahead, so I don't think he has to worry that much.
We will see what happens when, of course, they swap tyre compounds after the pit stops. We'll see what happens then after the pit stops. When, of course, Marcus presumably will go on to the mediums and Lit will presumably go on to the softs. We'll see what happens there. Liberty says he's got no tyre grip on all three compounds. What the hell? I think that's self-explanatory. Liberty 18 seconds behind Super Supida and languishing in 7th position. It's been a terrible campaign for Liberty so far this season. Hopefully Liberty's able to pick it up in the latter stage. I say latter stage, there's still a long way in this championship to go, and I suppose that benefits everyone really, Tim.
Certainly, so.
It especially benefits Bottas in T1, because I was just reading through the chat there and he said he lost his championship lead. Of course, there's still a long way to go. And it's not like last season at all where there were 9 races. And you had to be consistent and you really had to be there in every race. But he's got 6 more races this season to try and reclaim that championship lead. As I say that, Marcus pits. So Marcus could do 11 laps on the softs. Litwa will presumably do a couple more laps in the mediums before coming in. So we'll see what Marcus is able to do. Rally Ralph will go into 2nd position on the
Klimek
track.
also pitting.
Klimek, yeah, also
And
pits for
Superspeed
JL.
And Razat probably also pitting out the shoe.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Marcus comes out in 3rd position onto the medium compound tire. We'll see what
Razat
Klimek is able.
continues.
Yeah, but Super Speeder pits, so Super Speeder's got a 10-second penalty, so that's quite embarrassing for him. Klimek goes out in the mediums. We'll see what Super Speed is going to do. He goes on to the mediums, yeah, and serves his 10. Does he say no? He doesn't. He just stopped for whatever reason. He's down to last position. Liberty goes into 6th. Klimek will rejoin in 5th. Raz out 4th, but these are critical laps now for Marcus.
Yeah, he has to put something down here.
He definitely has to set down a huge marker on Litwa. And Super Speed is out of the race. Super Speed has retired coming out of the pit lane. And that's his race over, obviously. I'm not sure why. Has he gave up? Has he lost the will to race this evening? Whatever the case, a terrible end to his T2 campaign this week. And you really feel sorry for Super Speeder, Tim.
Yeah, not that great for him.
No, definitely not. As his team continues to struggle so far in this campaign. Rally Ralph pits. Marcus is back into 2nd position. And Marcus is gaining on Litwa. We'll see what he's able to do in the next couple of laps. You'd like to think Litwa will be pitching onto the softs. I'd say this lap or next lap. I mean, we'll see what his strategists tell him at JL. And we'll see what he feels. I asked you a couple of laps if you were Litwa, what would you be thinking right now? What's the status now in his head?
Honestly, I think I'd just be trying to gain one lose as least time as possible.
Will he come into the pits? The answer is he stays out for probably about 1 more lap, which allows Marcus to close up that gap just a little bit more, just a fraction more, as it now goes down to 17 seconds. And Marcus may be jumping for joy seeing that, because of course there's a great chance he'll come out in the lead of the race. Marcus starts lap 14 and sets the fastest lap of 1 minute 10.050. His qualifying best was a 1 minute 7.987 on the soft, so of course a massive difference between race and qualifying trim. But it's not that big compared to what it could be, as Liberty has gone off the track there at turn 11. Liberty may be lapped, depending on what happens to his race later on. Of course, Litwa is still yet to piss. That is the big factor in what will happen there. But Liberty has had a dismal weekend so far. And Liberty will essentially just want to pack it in and go again next week. We'll see if Litwa pits. Do you think he will this lap, Tim?
I think he will. He's losing quite a bit of time now, so.
And he stays out. He stays out.
It does. He's losing time, quite a lot of time. So, I think
Well,
he'll try to put on the softs on late, maybe.
Yeah, he'll definitely go to the softs, but I think the reasoning behind that is he's definitely going to go for one massive charge at the end of the race
Yeah,
on
it
the soft
seems
compound
like it.
tyre. Mm. I don't see why he wouldn't, though. Like, I don't see why he would go onto the hards. There'd be no point.
Yeah, true. I still think he. I mean, he could come in a bit earlier, I'd say, and now he's just gonna continue to lose time, and of course he'll gain a bit back, but he will now have to pass him on track, of course.
Yeah, and of course, none of them have penalties at the moment. I'm just going to check their warnings if they have any. Litwa has got a warning for a collision with Klimek and 2 track limits warnings. Marcus has got 1. So Litwa on thin ice. Marcus has a little bit more of that ice sheet to use. But now Litwa may be starting to feel a little bit of pressure. He has to get this job done. You'd like to think he will pit to go for 10 laps on the soft compound tyre. In he comes into the box this time. We'll slow it down towards the pit lane speed limit. Marcus will inevitably take the lead off the race for Orlen F1. But what can the JL pit crew do? Litwa into the box. And we'll go on to the soft compound tyre. Is it a good pit stop? We'll find out. It does look like it is. Marcus takes the lead of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix though. So it's 10 laps for Litwa to see if he can win a 3rd Grand Prix in succession. Onto the soft compound tyre he goes. This is where it gets very fun indeed. Marcus has a decent enough lead to carry himself to the end here, but we'll see what's going to happen to him. It's going to be a fun last couple of laps.
Yeah, certainly, but look what I said, he's taking out really long, and now he's first, before he has to put down an overtake, he has to bridge a 7-second gap.
That's not the worst delivery tonight. Will it be Orlen or will it be JL?
Can you invite
7 seconds and dropping. You've disconnected? Okay. Yeah, you have. No problem. So Litwa now 7.2 seconds behind. Klimek actually is gaining on Rally Ralph. So we'll see what
Can you invite me
Klimek's
then?
able to do. I did. Do you want again? There we go. So we'll see what Klimek is able to do, whether he can rise into 3rd position, 5 and a bit tenths behind Rally Ralph. This is the main battle at the moment, of course, disregarding the battle for 1st position, but Litwa hasn't gained much time on this outlap. That might due be to a majority of factors, but we'll see what he's able to do in the next 9 laps. Klimek gaining on Rally Ralph, but doesn't make the move in towards the Senna S. Maybe that's strategic. Waiting to get the move done on the straight leading down towards the City Lago. We'll find out. He has a lot of batteries to use and of course has DRS, and you'd like to think it's inevitable he'll get past. Goes to the inside and goes into 3rd position. So a good move for Klimek as JL are now 2-3 on the track. Litwa getting a little bit of time in this lap as Marcus might be able to start worrying slightly.
Yeah, I think there's still quite a big gap to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 6.5 seconds, 8 laps to go, 9, something along those lines.
The key is to keep cool, you'd like to think, of your Marcus at this stage.
Yeah, just keep cool and don't make any big mistakes, of course.
Because of course he has proved that he can crack earlier on in the race, where he of course went out of DRS range. That massive mistake at turn 11. Litwa goes and sets the fastest lap, 1 minute 9.682, just around 2 seconds off his pole position time. So we'll see what he's able to do with 8 and a bit laps to go in this race. 6.4 seconds the gap. Can Marcus hold on for his 1st victory of the season? And will the JL domination streak be about to end? It's getting very tasty and very spicy indeed. Do not take your eyes off whatever device you're watching this race on tonight. We are so grateful, as always, to have your company, whether you're listening to us in the Discord or whether you're watching us on YouTube. Your support will never go for granted. Lap 18 and 25, 7.5 laps to go. Can Marcus hold on or can Litwa do it? We're about to find out. Tim, who's your money on now?
I think Litwa is still a driver who's able to get it, but he has to push hard, and he's not. One lap, half a second, it's not gonna be enough, is it?
It doesn't look like it, no, unless Marcus is a massive mistake. But
Or
he
his
should
tires drop
really
off.
hold on. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I doubt that'll happen, of course.
Yes, it's 4 lap difference, and it's mediums and soft, so the longer it takes, the harder it will get for Litva to actually catch
Yeah.
up. Then it will be harder for Marcus
So,
to stay ahead.
realistically, he's hoping for a safety car or for Marcus to make a mistake. Nothing else, nothing else.
Yeah.
Super Sapidus says, let's make a game where you can lose the rear end in high-speed corners in an F1 car. I think that says a lot about the state of this game.
I think it already exists and it is this current game.
Yeah, exactly. Lit were not gaining enough time, and I think Litwa's strategy choice has backfired. Klimek in third position, Klimek doing very well in the mediums, recovering his race. Rally Ralph fourth, Raz out fifth, Liberty sixth, Liberty a long, long way behind. Liberty at the threat of being lapped. Super Sapida is our only DNF at this stage of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. As we head on to lap number 20, Marcus edging ever closer to his first victory of the T2 season. It's been better than Imola, that's fair to say to him.
That's very much true, although it's
Yeah.
also been more boring than Imola.
I mean, there have been a lot of battles in this race, and normally the second half of the T2 races is a bit more strategy centered, and a lot of people get a lot of gaps. But
Yeah,
that doesn't stop the races from being entertaining in any half, and I have to say this has been a
That's
solid
true.
7 out of 10.
that is very much true. Liberty looks to be getting left soon.
Yeah, I'd say in another 2 or 3 laps, Liberty will be lapped, and that's quite embarrassing.
And he's
for
got a bit of a
5%
moment
race.
there, so that will probably even be quicker now.
Of course, it didn't help Liberty that he, of course, had to pit in the early stages of the race after being involved in
Even
that
very
lap 1
old
collision.
players.
Yeah. Marcus is holding on though. Lit was only about he's only gained around a second and a half in these last couple of laps. So is Marcus on his victory parade? I wouldn't call it a victory parade. He has to be a bit more careful. He just has to hold on really. But he's nearly there.
Yeah, Letwa is gaining a bit of time here and there, but he's losing it somewhere else again.
Yeah, and that doesn't help anyone.
I mean, it helps Marcus.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help anyone as in the case of the team, but yeah, fair enough. But as mentioned, JL have that massive lead in the Constructors' Championship, so it doesn't really matter really where Litwa finishes, because he's been on the podium in every race. As Liberty is about to get lapped. So Liberty falls a lap down in this race, and, well, that's quite embarrassing. If you're Liberty, like, what are you thinking at the moment, Tim? Just bring it bring it home to the end because you are getting points, and then just focus on next week.
Yeah, probably.
So Litwa now losing a second on his personal best. It does look like his chance, his very slim chance, I suppose, of victory is gone. He has a massive moment coming out of the Senna S. It does look like it's going to be a victory for Orlen F1, their first of the season, and it would mean so much for their Constructors' Championship ambitions as well. Because, of course, they are in a pretty heated battle, I should say, at the moment with Toyota. They are 6 points in front, and this would obviously help them so much. They wouldn't be closing the gap on JL, Fanatec WRT, but it always helps to get a win on the board, and Marcus's confidence will go up quite a bit. Yet another team fielding a special Senna livery for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Pemex are the next team to do so. Liberty's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Pemex have a special Senna livery for the Brazilian Grand Prix in T1. They all look similar, I should say, if they're going with that slightly greeny colour. But Pemex, have you looked at it first of all, Tim?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's not too bad.
It's
Kudos to
true.
Ryu.
It is a bit in Liberty Spitten, but all these liveries, those are a bit.
Yeah.
How do you say it? Over commercializing Senna, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. But of course, you can't not have such a massive amount of respect for such a brilliant F1 driver. Liberty is now going to fall a lap down to Klimek and potentially his own teammate. He does, just about. They're going to race side by side. Yeah, Rally Ralph will lap his teammates at the Liberties race. Now, in a very precarious position, he's on the softs and might be looking for the fastest lap with a couple of laps to go. That could work out, you never know.
Yeah,
We'll see what
extra
happens.
points is probably welcome for him, so...
But Marcus is nearly there. He's still gaining time on Litwa. 2 laps to go in a couple of moments' time. He has done everything right this evening. He got the good start. He led for a couple of laps, lost the lead. His only real weak point of the race. But he has fought, and boy has he fought. Lap 24 of 25, and it does look like it's going to be an historic first win of the season for Marcus in the Orlen Senna car. First sector split, only 1/10 down on his personal best, and that is just consistency, Tim, isn't it? That's the definition of the word.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he got that gap. He got back in the lead on strategy and then just drove away.
What do you think's going through Litwa's mind at the moment? Do you think he's ruining the opportunity to not maybe go onto the hards? And maybe staying out a little bit shorter?
I think it probably does is a thing that he might have thinking of, but right now he's still a solid P2 there.
Yeah,
and
like you can't fault us.
He's not gonna lose that much in general. Neither will his team. His team will still gain. He will still
of course,
gain on most drivers. So I don't see why he'd be too annoyed at it. I mean, of course, it's a win. A win is a win that you probably...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. A win is a win, but he'll be happy with second place. White flag shown here at Interlagos, and Marcus's victory lap is about to begin. First sector split. He's a 10th off his personal best. He has just been so good tonight, coming towards the Ciudad del Lago and down the short little straight before Ferradura of turn 6. It's been a brilliant drive from him tonight, with only the real one mistake of losing the lead in towards turn number 8 and 9 through that twisty and tight portion of the track for one last time this evening in T2 up towards Pico de Paso, where it could have ended his chance of the race win. As we all see now, though, it has done anything but. Final sector into Juncao. And 30 years after Ayrton Senna passed away, we've seen so many Senna tribute liveries over the last couple of race weekends. And Marcus is going to do it in the Orlen Senna car. To the line he comes. Marcus wins his first race of the season in T2. He wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And JL's dominance finally comes to an end. Litwa finishes second, 8.5 seconds behind. It will be a 2-3 for JL in their Senna livery car. Klimek, after winning in Australia, bounces back after retiring last week, finishes in third position. Rally Ralph will be fourth. And it looks like the two BWT Lechner cars are going to cross the line in tandem. Liberty's weaving, Rally Ralph is weaving, because Rally Ralph has every right to be proud of that performance. He will finish in fourth, Liberty will be sixth, and then Razout will cross the line in fifth position for 10 points for his team. But what a brilliant race that was, Tim.
A great race there.
29 minutes, almost getting to the half an hour mark. No virtual safety cars, no full safety cars. But a brilliant race it was. Only the one DNF. And they are ready to go onto the podium. And for Marcus, celebrate his first win in T2. Congratulations to him. He has done it. Rally Ralph is the game's driver of the day. But here is your podium. Marcus does it. Missed out on pole position, but a brilliant drive saw him step up to the plate and stand up, and he was certainly counted, and he lifts aloft the winner's trophy of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. They spray the champagne. In the grand scheme of things, they're losing in the Constructors' Championship battle, but in the short term, this is a massive, massive result for Marcus and for Orlen F1. Here's your race order then. After 29 minutes and 58 seconds, nearly getting to the half an hour mark, as was mentioned, Marcus picks up his first win of the T2 season. Litwa finishing in second with Klimek in third position. The two JLs doing so well this season, continuing their form, their trend of form, I should say, by finishing on the podium yet again. Litwa keeping up his 100% run of finishing on the podium. Third in Australia, winning the last two races before this one and finishing second this weekend. Fourth position went to Rally Ralph. Razout was in fifth and Liberty rounded it all out in sixth. Out of 10, Tim, what did you think of that one?
It was an amazing performance, I'd say, from Marcus here on strategy, and then he just drove away. He did a great job.
It was a brilliant performance, yeah, I have to say. And for anyone who has been slightly tired of the JL domination and Litwa and Klimek winning races, I suppose that was the antidote you needed. But JL still so strong, and you really do fear a team that can consistently get podiums. They are the overwhelming Constructors' Championship favourites, and they're probably going to win it, but they've been brilliant.
Oh, of course, but most of the time a team that wins Constructors has also got the Driver Champion, and if they've got the Driver Champion, he'll be gone next season, so
yeah,
it could all
back
change
into T1.
with one. It could all change with one driver that isn't that great in the team.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Sen Manders wasn't able to race tonight, but his gratitude reaches no bounds for Marcus, and he himself says he told us that today was the day, and it certainly was. What a brilliant race that was. Still one more to come tonight, of course, in T1. Bottas not racing won't be able to regain the championship lead, which gives the onus to Yasko. It could also open second place up to Ryu Zappa, who is of course racing for Pemex tonight. Bobo is making his first appearance of the season for the Mexican outfit as well. But what a brilliant T2 race that was. Congratulations to Orlen F1, and congratulations to Marcus for clinching their first win of the season. And also congratulations, should be in order as well, for Litwa and Klimek for finishing second and third. For JL Fanatec WRT, 4 races gone in T2. Still a very long way to go, but the early initial signs show that JL are unstoppable, but on their day, maybe they can slip, and they certainly did today. Congratulations to Marcus once again, and we will be back in around half an hour's time for the T1 race. I can't wait for it, from Tim and myself. We will see you in a short while at a time, and of course, keep tuning in for T2 throughout the season. We're back next Friday, same time, same place, but hopefully another fantastic race. We'll see you in around half an hour, 45 minutes. Goodbye to you.